Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Hadi. So this is my personal thought during the whole semester of Usrah Nation. So when the first time I step into that home, I see like after 20 years of living, I guess I am still shocked about the conditions of some people outside of my view, outside of my world, outside of my bubble. Because there are so much people that are struggling more than me when I thought I am struggling enough. Disclaimer, I really am struggling in life, during weekends, I go to work and one of my parents didn't work anymore. So uh, I thought I'm struggle enough compared to the rest, but it gives me a reality check is that some people are fighting hard to make ends meet, and they even do a better job than me in being grateful for what they have.
To begin, I want to express my gratitude that these orphans are provided with a safe place to live and they have enough to eat. Even though they are confronting such a significant obstacle, it seems that each and every youngster there is cheerful. I, will, I would want to express my gratitude to this orphanage for providing such loving care to these disadvantaged children.
So I'm Hilmi, and my personal thought is when I get my task to visit the orphanage house, I don't feel anything interesting about that. But when I arrive, I felt amazed by the kids because they can enjoy their life like other kids, even though they might not get much love from their family, especially their parents. And I'm also thankful for the orphanage house management because they can manage all the kids there with their love.
Personally, I'm not someone who really does community service or community work, so I actually did not foresee myself to enjoy this visit. But after going to Raudatul Nur Jannah and also knowing about the background of the orphanage, I became more interested and understood the purpose of our visit. And I also could sympathize with Kak Rina, the chairperson, and also the kids there because of their hardships. They actually had to move around for 5 times and did not have a permanent house. And on top of that, they did not actually have any funds from the government or the banks, and they also do not have any zakat money allocated to them even though they are deserving of it. So I actually feel quite disheartened to see Karina and the others struggle to make ends meet by doing side businesses and other various jobs. And upon visiting Raudatul Nur Jannah, I was actually quite surprised to see that their house is small and compact as compared to the number of kids and also the belongings as well as furniture there. But I understand that this is what they could afford with whatever money that they had at the moment, and there are also other things that they need to focus on, such as the basic necessities and also education. So in the future, I hope that the orphanage will be able to expand into a bigger house and also receive more support, not just from public donations but also from the government and banks, so that they can sustain the lives of the children better.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fateema Binte Aziz, and I will be presenting a few points regarding my personal thoughts upon my visit to Rawlatul Nur Jannah. First of all, I would like to touch on the infrastructure, the outside, the exterior part of infrastructure of the whole Rawlatul Nur Jannah itself. Surprisingly, it's a house. When I first came there, I didn't even know that it's going to be a house. And from the outside, from the exterior part of the infrastructure, it seems fine. There's a staircase for all, a ladder for fire department to come in case there's fire. And the house is painted well. There are windows. There are 3 levels by right, and there's staircase to go to the higher levels. However, in terms of the interior part, I believe it's a bit cramped, and I think there are rooms for improvement. So maybe we can improve in a way that we can rearrange some furniture or some documents. I'm seeing files, folders, documents everywhere. And the help desk right at the front of the house, I think it's a bit cramped there. And overall, it's a cramp inside the house. So there's a room for improvement there. Also, I'd like to touch on The fact that these children and Rawdatul Nur Jannah itself is not receiving any alms or zakat, but by right they are actually eligible and entitled to being zakat recipients according to Islamic jurisprudence. But according to Madam Zarina, the head of Rawdatul Nur Jannah, they are not even approached by these zakat officers. That's what shocked me the most.
So next is the community profiling, the institution demographic. So the name is Pertubuhan Kebajikan dan Pendidikan Rawdatul Nur Jannah, and the address is 1 Jalan Gombak Ria 3, Taman Gombak Ria 68100 Batu Cave, Selangor. And the email is the rnj7677@yahoo.com, and the number telephone is 013-325-1544. And they also have their own website, which is www.rnjgombak.org.my. And this Rumah Kebajikan found in December 2014, and the chairperson is Zurina Binti Zainuddin, and now they have 70% in their house. So next one is their vision. For their vision is defending the condition of orphans and unprivileged kids to build a better and more promising future. And they also have their missions, and their mission is establish a more comfortable community with a wide range of educational activities and programs that can help poor orphans and orphans recognize their potential for a better life and become identity, knowledgeable, pious, and useful members of their community and their religion, family, race, and nation. And the motto of their house is continue doing charitable work no matter who.
The first major issue that we came across while doing community profiling is the problem of their funding. We found out that the funding to support the orphanage is actually quite insufficient and inconsistent. So firstly, it is estimated that the orphanage spending is around 30k per month, and it may be more or less depending on what is needed at that time. However, the sources of their funding is actually quite limited, as most of it, which is around 10 to 15k, is actually from public donations. And these public donations, we have to understand that they are not fixed as well. And so the other source of funding for them actually comes from the side businesses and other various jobs that Kak Rina and other orphanage members do to help support the fundings. And these jobs include catering, doing class, organizing camps, events, and etc. And they actually do not receive any support or funding from high authorities at all, so they do not get governmental help, and they also do not receive the zakat even though they are eligible for it and they actually have the right to receive them. And if I'm not wrong, they also applied for help from the bank, but there was no response from the bank's side either. Hence, their funding is absolutely limited, such that they depend only on their own manpower and public help to source their fundings.
The next community issue that we can extract from this issue of Rawdatul Nur Jannah and the children here is that this particular body is lacking of manpower. Because from the interview or from whatever we have observed is that it's a one-man show. It's by far Madam Zarina, the head, and her husband are probably the only ones working and taking care of the children. They have friends and peers who help them out. However, the bigger issue is that these workers are not well paid, are not adequately paid. So from time to time, it seems unsustainable, and there could be a point where they just stop and lost passion and probably just do not want to continue this activity because they are not paid equally. They are not paid well. Because The main thing of working is to get paid and ensure that whatever you receive will suffice your needs. However, the issue here is that they are not paid because Rayatul Jannah itself is not funded well, like what Sister Nabilah has said earlier. And with that being said, it brings to the point that these people or the manpower or people who are working for Rayatul Jannah are not adequately paid. Moving on to the third community issue, which is regarding the undocumented children. These undocumented children refer to the children who are not registered upon their birth, meaning they do not have any documents which prove that they are born, they exist in this world. Even though they have names, even though they have so and so information, but they are not registered as children or as human beings or as the ones who have been born to this world. So this brings to the point that they cannot even go to school because they do not have any documents, they do not have their birth cert, they do not have their parents' names, and they do not have any documents which are considered as a prerequisite for you to register into schools. As such, these children are having no access to education at all, which brings a lot of pity to them because they need education to survive, and that's why as human beings they require education despite being undocumented. And that is one of the major issues that Madam Zarina, the head of Rayatul Jannah, has pointed out during her interview.
So let's move on to planning, where we suggest solutions to solve these community issues. Mind you that the proposed solution is actually under the condition of we capable to do it. So firstly, establish a team of volunteers to help at least once a month. It doesn't have to be a team, it doesn't have to be once a month. Maybe we can divide it to two teams, which one of them will maintain the home, such as painting the ladder like we did the last time we went there, or maybe deep cleaning the house. Um, so the house will be tidy and also up to standard. So it doesn't have to be once a month, maybe once or twice a month. It is according to our flexibility. So it's like that. And then the second team, which is volunteers to help teach the children about the basic knowledge, such as Bahasa Melayu, English, mathematics, and science, so that they get the basic knowledge to help them survive in real world. So not only that, the volunteers will teach on how to pray, how to read Quran properly, and teach about akhlak and adab, so that they also balance in akhirah too. Okay, so regarding this teaching volunteerism, it may be once a week, at best, maybe the most efficient way to help these kids. So the second one, which is help injecting more funds by doing charity sales. So we this here is actually a give and take. When they give money to us as a form of donation, and then they take something from us, let's say we sell food, or maybe used clothes, or we provide car wash service, etc. So it can be anything. It can be flexible also. So that is one of the example that we can do to inject more fund to help this Raudatul Nur Jannah home. And then the third one, which is collaboration with other organizations to share resources and stuff. This is actually important to ensure that the home actually well funded, and we can less the burden on them. So collaboration with other NGOs, we search for them, and then we make a deal to share resources, or maybe to share some fund that they get from people to help the Raudatul Nur Jannah home, and then share their manpower too, to make sure that the existing manpower didn't go too exhausted because of how little the number of them in that Raudatul Nur Jannah home. So this is something actually important to look for.
The goals we want to achieve are: firstly, ensure that the basic needs of the children in the orphanage care are met on a consistent basis. Without consistent funding, an orphanage may struggle to provide for the children and may even be forced to close. Additionally, having a reliable source of funding allows the orphanage to plan for the future and make improvements to the facility and services provided. Secondly is to support the orphanage management to develop new business. This is for them to create a sustainable source of income for the orphanage to become more independent and less reliant on the outside funding. Third is ensure the orphanage get proper education. Education can help to build a better future for the children by providing them with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed in life. And it also helps them to be more self-sufficient and independent. Next, enhancing children development. Volunteer can also help to enhance the children's development by providing them with educational, recreational and other activities that will help them to develop their skills and interests. Last but not least, cost effective. When we're collaborating with organization, we could help in reduce cost of running the orphanage.